Yeah, it's Team Tooney fishing with reviews. Crack a beer, you know we're here. Tell us what's the news, what's the plan, where to land. Now you gotta listen, and don't forget, this is Team Tooney fishing. Alright.
G'day legends, welcome back to another episode of Boat Ramp Reviews with Team Tooney Fishing. We're down here on the Logan River today, checking out the Logan River Parklands boat ramp. Now the facilities here on the ramp itself, okay, we've got a jetty and a single boat ramp here, heaps of parking. However, the toilets are quite a bit of a hike. So if you're coming in for a bit of a fish and the parklands are open, jump in there, get what you need to get done. Obviously barbecue areas as well, located off to the right. So if you do get caught, you need to run to the toilet. If you're land-based, pulling the boat up, head over to the right. That is where all your facilities are. However,
G'day legends, at Team Tooney Fishing we're all about good mates, quality gear and real adventure. Go to teamtooney.com and check out the full range.
We're here just adjacent to the M1, on the opposite side of the M1 as to the Coomera River boat ramp we did previously. Now the jetty has about the same as Coomera, about 9 cleats to tie down on, so not a very big ramp. However, the tide seems to be flying through here. We're on the turn at the moment, so it is hooking a little bit quicker than normal. I would be inclined to just say keep your wits about you when dealing with this boat ramp, for the fact that there's nowhere really to pull up on except sludge. The boat ramp itself isn't in bad condition. There are bins around the area and there is ample space here. And it is tide restricted, seek local knowledge. So if you are a local, you use this boat ramp a bit, what's the knowledge? Where's the drop off on this boat ramp? Put it in the comments, let us know. So once again, it's not in bad condition. It's being cleaned, it's not slippery. It's not a bad gradient either. The rise it's not as steep as some of the ones we've seen. But like I said, there's nowhere really on the sides to pull up on this boat ramp. It's quite sludgy. There's quite a bit of mangrove. I've got a feeling you could end up knee deep. Some people, it looks like there's evidence. Some people have pulled their boats up in there and trudged through to get out. Okay, I can't see how much further that ramp goes, but going off the mud, not much further. So you would have to get in real deep. Another consideration, if your back wheels on a 2-wheel are in that mud, because you're trying to get the trailer in as deep as possible for the big boaties, keep that in mind when coming here. There is plenty of parking, and as you come up the boat ramp, you'll see to the left there's a D-rig, re-rig area that you can pull up into out of the way, square your boat away, square your kit, and head off on your way. This ramp also has ample lighting around as well. Okay, you are off the M1, so I could imagine there's a little bit of light pollution from up there. But down here, the roads and the boat ramp itself is quite lit. No cameras that I can see from like what we've had at previous boat ramps. There is a lack of light on the ramp itself. There's like one solar light just here, but nothing to indicate the ramp on the water. So it's something to keep in mind. I guess you can reference the M1 as probably your biggest feature when returning back to the ramp. Now, if you are land-based fishing around here, there's plenty of paths. Once again, if you want to bring the kids, bring a scooter or a bike. The only thing to keep in mind is that the land-based fishing is in quite dense areas at the ramp itself anyway. So visibility on that front could be a little tough. Ample bins, make sure we dispose of everything. There are some bins down on the jetty as well, like the tackle bins. Make sure we use it. The Jetty down there, it's not in the best condition. It does have a chopping board on it as well. So if you wanted to cut up bait and that sort of stuff, there's plenty of room and the facility to do that. Once again, grab a bucket. Once you're done, give it a wash down, clean it off. The better we look after it, the more chance we have of trying to get these facilities upgraded. Now to the left of the boat ramp, I'm heading down under the bridges again. These positions usually have really good access to the water and produce really good land-based fishing spots. We've been copping a bit of rain up here, so it is a little sludgy. But here we go. Access to the water here. Once again, I feel like this isn't going to be the only one. Let's pick up our rubbish as we go, make sure it remains clean. I would be mindful of other foreign objects around here. I would highly promote wearing enclosed shoes, not necessarily from potential users in this region, but also from what travels up and down the river. I have seen spare tires floating up and down, so whilst I wouldn't advise to eat anything out of here, it can be a really good fun recreational time. But just remember, if you've got to wear your full-blown Crocs, wear Crocs, shoes, gumboots. I would suggest that's what I would do. People have got their crab pots tied in. I can't see any name tags on those, so potentially illegal crab pots. Look, I'm not gonna get up anyone at this point in time. You know the rules, but given the cost of living at the moment, hey, I guess people have got to do what they've got to do. No lighting under here. There is no provisions for anyone wanting to fish at night here, so you're gonna have to bring a torch. Given the amount of vegetation as well, I would highly suggest bringing 3 cans of Aerogard to keep the midgies, the mozzies, and everything else from biting you down here. And then you can see it continues off into the parklands where I'm sure there's ample spots to fish and have a crack. Even if you wanted to come out here. Now, a lot of people are going to say this river's the quality, they're going to challenge the quality of the river, quality of the fish. I'm not saying I would eat anything out of here, but what it does provide is the opportunity to practice, okay? You can see on the pillars, every segment has a little section, right? So it's segmented at the base. Use that to target. Even if you tie a sinker on, if you've never used a bait caster reel, perfect chance to come down, have a bit of a flick and practice. You want to see how that new lure swims, how it moves. Once again, not everything has to be the catching moment, but you can come down here if you're nearby to practice those techniques in the lead up to catching that big one. What I've just noticed is there is a footbridge also that goes across, so you can access the other side, which looks like it's a bit better of a vantage point. There's a fencing along the other side of the river, okay, for under the bridge, so you might get a bit better of an opportunity to get down towards the bank, especially at high tide. It seems to be a little bit more secure with that fence, so you do have that bridge you can access. It would be a bit of a hike, but it's there. I could imagine in summertime, if the council don't get in and clean up under here, that the native fauna could prove challenging. It looks like the perfect spot for a bloody brown snake or red belly, okay? Keep that in mind if you're gonna come through here or the kids are gonna come trudging through. So I wanna do a big shout out once again. Thank you to all our subscribers. Honestly, the way the channel's growing, this is awesome. I'm gonna continue to keep getting out there. If there's somewhere you haven't seen yet but you think should be on here, please tag us, location. If you'd like to see more freshwater content, do we have enough freshwater anglers on here to do it? Is it worth it? Do you want to see the Hins? Do you want to see Somerset? Throw it in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe and follow and share it with your friends. This is the one-stop shop for boat ramp reviews. If you are heading out anytime soon and you want to know what it's like, where you're going, check out our channel. If it isn't there, let us know and we will aim to get it done. Until next time, cheers for tuning in. We look forward to having you next time. Have a good one. Laters.
It's Team Tooney Fishing with reviews. Crack a beer, you know we're here. Tell us what's the news, what's the plan, where to land. Now you gotta listen and don't forget, this is Team Tooney Fishing.